Hello, listeners. I'm Timstradamus, and this is Feel Good Fridays. Joining me, as always, is my talented and beautiful co-hostess, Voyse.
Good morning, Timstradamus, and welcome to all of our listeners. I can't wait to get started on reading some of these stories.
I'm ready for a good start to the Fridays.
Here I am, aiming for those feels.
No, you're not getting any today.
So for anyone that's new and that's coming in and listening to this for the first time, I read a couple feel-good stories that I think will start your weekend off on the right foot. Before we go ahead and start these stories, though, I've got another mystery drink for you.
I am actually really excited for this.
Do you know what it is?
No, you put it on the desk and I was like, wow.
Well, go ahead and try a sip and tell me what flavors you get from it.
It starts with definitely Coke. There's Coke at the base here, like chocolate.
I guess technically it would have a little bit of chocolate.
And maybe some vanilla.
Oh, okay.
So I like vanilla Coke, but then there's chocolate in here. And what is this?
So that is the Coca-Cola no sugar Oreo drink.
Yeah. I don't like Oreos in Coke. I've just found out.
There's a lot of people that say they love this drink. I find it funny that you don't.
No, I like milk with my cookies. I don't like Coke.
You don't like Coke? You don't want to dip your Oreo in Coke?
No, I'm not a fan of that.
Well, at least you get it. You actually gave it a go, though.
Yeah.
Well, you go ahead and probably are just going to look at that cup for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
Why don't we go ahead and delve into these feel-good stories? For our first story, in memory of a boss who believed in me. This is going back close to 12 years now, and the impact of what happened has stuck with me. Back then, I used to work for a call center as an agent. Now, I am a quiet and introverted person. Most times, people don't notice me because I keep to myself and keep my head down while I work. But I am also the sort of person that pays attention to the things around me, and if I say something, it is generally short but very relevant and impactful. The general manager and later CO at the place I worked, I'll call him MS, was a man who could be friendly one moment and raging up a storm the next. He never once insulted staff, but he still intimidated others when he got angry. He also had an absolute love for Australian cricket, and every Friday, without fail, he would send a company-wide, 30 staff members in all, email with the weekly results. I think only he cared, but nobody dared speak ill of his cricket. One day, we had a virus attack our systems, and after IT purged it, MS sent a company-wide email about the importance of not opening unknown links or attachments and to report any suspicious emails. I don't know what possessed me to do it, but I hit reply all and sent back something along the lines of, "Now that you mention it, I have been getting these strange emails every week detailing Australian cricket scores." It is no word of a lie when I say the whole building went quiet. I mean, after I sent that email, I genuinely thought I fucked up. But then you could hear MS belly laugh roar through the entire building. I resumed breathing at that point. What I hadn't realized at that time, though, is that by sending that email, I fell on his radar. After that, he would approach me, especially during work events, and we would talk. Whenever there was a team leader position open, he would ask me why I didn't apply, and I would tell him that I didn't feel confident in my abilities. At no point did he ever push me into taking a role I didn't want, but he would listen and make a comment about how he thought I would be good for the role, but never pushed. In time, his confidence in me did help, and while he was still working for the company, I became a trainer and even later took on an HR role. Eventually, MS would have to leave the company due to health reasons, but every now and then our paths would cross. The last I spoke with him was back in 2020, and I was happy to tell him I became a team leader. MS had been happy to hear that, and he told me that he knew I had it in me. MS passed away from his illness a few weeks later, but his belief in me stayed with me. When I had to leave the company we both worked at, I knew my worth. When I joined a company that was abusive to its staff, I did not put up with it. When I found another company that I enjoyed working at, I was confident to see myself learn and grow. Today, I have accepted a managerial position in my company and wish I could share the news with MS. I know he would have been proud and told me that he knew I had it in me.
Good mentors are very hard to come by. And if you find yourself in the lucky position that you have one, realize it. Because I can count on one hand. Yeah, I think I've had 2 really amazing mentors in my life as far as like getting into any form of workplace is concerned anyway. Yeah, they may come off as hard asses and, maybe they even can steer into the maybe they don't like me category when you first bump into them, maybe for a whole year like it was for me. But then you quickly realize that they were just trying to help you grow. So yeah, I can definitely identify with that. I had someone that was definitely like that. Everyone was afraid of him in the building. And he was definitely harder on me than maybe you would like. But man, you grow so rapidly from... Everyone's different, by the way. I'm not saying that works for everyone. But yeah, you wish you could speak to them.
I feel like not enough can be said on the impact that others have on us, especially when they give us that support to help us grow. I know with my current company, I have one person that I love her so much. She's mentored me. She's been so patient. And anytime I've ever had a question, she's broken it down for me and has never made me feel like I was dumb because I needed a new way, a different way of having things explained to me. It's why whenever I train others, I give them seriously 2 to 3 different ways of explaining the same thing, because not one way can be understood by everyone. But that patience and that faith in my abilities, to where I find it funny because literally on a recent project, she was the reason why I got spotlighted to head on this project. I felt so confident in my abilities because of what she's taught me and who I am as a person in my profession. I'm going to be sad when she retires.
Just enjoy the moments while you have them.
That's very true.
My mentor cut my tie the first time I made a sale. And then we went out to get drinks. And that was when I realized, oh, okay. You don't hate me. I remember that being a big moment for me when I was young. And I was like, I don't think I belong here. Because I think everyone has that. No matter what you jump into, you mess up or it doesn't go as cleanly as you think. But that's a part of the job, is to learn. So yeah, and Voyse will never say this to anyone, but I have seen her around a lot of people. You are an excellent mentor to everyone you've ever come in contact to. I know you don't take the credit you should, but that type of person we're talking about here is 100% who you are when you're dealing with people. So that's what we all strive to be. I'm just saying you are very good at that.
Thank you. I just try and lead with kindness first.
It works.
Well, let's go on to our next story and see what you think about a letter. A letter my dad wrote to me before I was born, 1994. I recently found this letter in an old photo album. I cried when I first read it, and I get teary during every reread. I'm turning 30 next month and have been feeling very nostalgic. I have amazing parents who I am fortunate enough to call my best friends, and I'm so grateful. On to the letter. A letter to my unborn child. You have come to us through an amazing miracle from a place that is mysteriously and beautifully unknown. Inside your mother, you have carefully assembled into one creation, the greatest wonder known to humankind. We have watched this process and participated in it as much as we can. Yet, you have orchestrated the entire show, carefully positioning each cell and fiber into place. We have waited patiently for you, interpreting and admiring the sensation that you are. Let me tell you about yourself. In 9 months, you have brought together all the vital elements for your body, spirit, personality, mind, and being. This is very impressive because you started only with one cell. Furthermore, all these elements will last your entire lifetime. This work qualifies you above all of the engineers in the world combined. You have carefully conducted a profound masterpiece that is eagerly awaited by so many people. Your being is more important than every work of art ever forged in the hands of masters. And you have done all of this by yourself. You will come into a world of abundant confusion, and to it you will add hope, beauty, grace, and delicacy. These offerings are so highly prized that they are worth more than all the wealth ever acquired in our history. You represent every marvel and curiosity present in the human experience. You are the purity of heart and belief of tomorrow. You symbolize our faith in ourselves. At times, this world will seem to have forgotten who and what you are. That is okay too, as long as you remember how very important you are. Soon you will meet us, the people, the other human beings who have come before you. We are very different from one another, and yet we are all the same family. You will find that we appeal to every emotion you have at distinct times. Sometimes you will be very happy at some of us, sometimes angry with us. This too is positively all right. Most importantly, and rightly first, you will know what love is. This is really what you came here for, believe me. Love is the best thing in the world, and it is the thing that brought you to us. Love is rather difficult to explain with words, because it is rather slippery. Still, you will know it when you feel it from others, and when you feel in yourself. It is completely the purest radiance of life, and best of all, it's free. We will give you a bunch throughout your life, right from the start, so that you can become used to it. Additionally, there are a group of other people called your family, made up of grandparents, aunts, uncles, and many other people. These folks will also hand out free love to you in abundance. It is a decent deal, and I think you will like it a lot. You will want to know that we make all sorts of tributes to love, like art and poetry. These acclaims are very cool, and they are the types of things that your mom and dad especially treasure. I do not want to lay the cradle of humanity on you immediately here. I simply wanted to point out some excellent qualities about yourself and the world to which you are coming. I will warn you, it seems crazy out here, even to those of us who are experienced at being here. If you get a little overwhelmed, it is perfectly natural. Just relax, take it easy, and remember that you are a very, really special kind of miracle. We are so glad you decided to come and join us. It will be so nice to chat with you face to face. We are excited to meet you. Until your birthday, adios. With love, yours truly, the Dad Guy.
Sweet letter. I must be a caveman, because all I would have written on that is potential means nothing without hard work. Because, there's great things, and those are amazing things to tell your kids. But if we don't work for it, it means nothing. So.
That's very true. I think it's funny because we all have some form of messages that we would like to give our unborn future child, even our current children now. And wow, can you imagine? This father wrote in 1994 this letter, and you can definitely feel the love and the awe of growing a little person. And it takes a lot for any woman to carry a child. And then I think it takes just as much for a dad to try and fill in that role of what their child would need. But we're so much in the moment of now that when the past happens, those frames, those thoughts that we had back then, it's so fleeting. You lose it. Whatever poetry, whatever small snippets of advice you might have had then, or think, I want to give this advice to my kid, or I'd like to do this with my kid. And time just keeps flowing in one direction. And you don't know if you were able to say that little bit of word or do that little bucket list item that you'd like to do with your kid. We literally have this captured moment from a parent, and it sums up just the miracle of a child being made in the making, and then essentially says, we'll always love you. The world is crazy. We're here for you, and we can't wait to meet you. I think it's just lovely.
Definitely is. Now get out of your mom. Hurry up. You're giving her nausea.
If anything, this might also give inspiration to any one of our other listeners to maybe write a letter. Even if your child is born, I bet you having that snippet, that little time capsule, it's just an amazing gift.
October 16th. You've really pissed me off today, Stephen. Capsule this.
Yeah, no.
There might be some areas.
It could be. That would be so funny though.
Good Feel Good Friday.
I tried. One about a boss, an inspiration from mentor to learnee, and then one from a parent to a child.
A good mentor is seriously an unmeasured asset to your life. Not just professionally. I'm telling you, you can learn a lot from people when they're not having to be almost hand-holding you through. You know how sometimes someone won't say something that they need to say because they're trying to hold the relationship together. They don't really understand what they can say to you. You know, there's a difference between being close to someone and then having someone just sit there and go, we're going to make you better. You're just going to have to walk through it. Now, I'm not saying deal with someone that disrespects you. There's a difference. I don't want to say just because they are your mentor means you have to put up with things. But there's a difference between tough love and learning the lessons and someone being disrespectful and abusive. Belligerent. You know, there's a big difference between those two things. But if you can find that person, embrace the challenge, it will make you grow.
Agreed. Well, as our feel-good stories come to a close, don't forget, you see in the world what you carry in your heart. And get out of here.
Yeah, why are you still here?
Start your weekend.
It's Friday.
It's already feeling good.
We are having barbecue tonight.
Oh, yes, we are. Some pulled chicken. You getting ribs. I want pulled chicken.
That's going to be so good.
Baked beans, potato salad. Let's go.
Catch you guys next week.
Brr.